which you have original values. These are the original values. Okay. And if you go to the frequency scaling, so for the particular low pass filter, so if I want to scale the frequency, because we have taken the cutoff frequency as 1 radians per second, that is a normalized value. So now that if I want to change it to what is the frequency exactly we are designing the cutoff frequency and all, we need to scale that frequency. Okay. So now to change that cutoff frequency of low pass filter, so from that whatever we have taken 1 radians per second, that unity, this omega c requires that the frequency scaling. So that depends on the filter. So by the factor of 1 by omega c. So that we can convert by using this equation. So we have that equation omega c equal to 1 radians per second. Now that new omega is obtained by replacing that by omega c. Whatever omega by omega c normalized value 1 radians per second we have, can replace it by the omega. So now after that, if you do that, so the new power loss ratio will be, so earlier what normalized power loss ratio we have got from when we take the cutoff frequency as 1 radians per second, then the new power loss ratio will be, so the old power loss ratio into omega by omega c. Okay. So that is what we're going to get in the frequency scale. So now we need to find out the new element values. So either the capacitive reactance or even the reactance or susceptance based on the whether it is a series inductor or series capacitor or shunt inductor, shunt capacitor, based on the values or based on the configuration, we have to do the filter transformation. Okay. So now the new element values are determined by applying this substitution. So this is the substitution because we have transformed that frequency omega by omega c, and this reactance will be obtained based on the LK values. So that LK is nothing but, so the new value which we obtained L dash, so that we if we need to replace that L by L dash, we will going to get the corresponding reactance. And similarly we have the susceptance for the capacitor. Okay. So now you can see the new elements which are given by, so based on the cutoff frequency. So you can see the based on the cutoff frequency, so we can able to get the new values. And if you want to incorporate both frequency and the impedance scaling, we can able to completely do by using this equation. So we have the impedance scaling, we have the frequency scaling, both we are doing here. So this is the actual new values, new element values are absolute values of the elements, where we have the impedance and frequency scaling, both we are doing here. Okay. So this is for the low pass filter type. Okay. So now if I want to low pass to high pass transformation, we have seen already that the process of filter implementation, first we need to get the specification, and then first we need to design the low pass transformation, that is low pass prototype, then we have to scaling, frequency scaling and impedance scaling, then finally implementation part. In that implementation part we are transforming, so whichever it is required. Okay. So whether it is low pass to high pass and low pass to band pass, like that. Okay. So now you can see a low pass to high pass transformation. How we can do is, we can replace that omega by, so that omega c by omega minus omega c by omega. So this is a transformation we'll going to put. Okay. So now this actual equation which is used to convert this low pass response to high pass response. Okay. And this mapping that, so from 0 to omega equal to infinity and vice versa, because that scaling we are taking from 0. So because our filter response we need to start from, so omega equal to 0 to, so infinite. So we'll going to get like this something, so that low pass filter characteristics. So we need to start from omega equal to 0 to, that it will going to follow. Okay. And cutoff occurs where omega equal to omega c. So where somewhere here 3 dB down, so where this omega tends to, or omega becomes equal to omega c, we'll going to get the cutoff frequency. Okay. So now here, so one more important, we have put the negative sign. So that negative sign is to convert the inductors or capacitor to realizable values. Okay. So that is the physically realizable, so absolute values. So for that intention, so it is the minus is there. So this is the low pass to high pass transformation. Now if you see low pass to high pass transformation, if you want to find out the new value elements, that is new values of the elements, so the applying that above this transformation. Okay. So we can have the element values like this. The prototype filter gives this element values. So that is the reactance and the susceptance. So we are now replacing that omega c by omega minus n and everything, and replacing this lk by the new element value, that is with respect to the frequency. So divide by omega c, we will going to get the new value. So that is what you will going to get here. So and then, so if I want to convert that into the frequency scaling as well as the impedance scaling both at a time. Okay, so within the same expression, this is the expression where it will going to convert completely. So new absolute values of the capacitance and inductance. Okay, so now you can see the series inductor can be replaced with the capacitors. So that we can see here, series inductor can be replaced with the capacitor, or capacitor can be replaced with the inductor. Okay, so that shunt capacitor. So if we have a shunt capacitor, if I want to put the inductor in place of shunt capacitor, this is a transformation we need to do. Okay, so ck can, the shunt capacitor ck can be replaced with inductor lk. So now the new component values you will going to get. So because when we do the implementation part, so we have the two configuration, that is current source and voltage source, that we have discussed. So that transformation, so whenever we have used the voltage source, so if we have to convert that shunt inductor to capacitor, or series inductor to capacitor, so whatever the conversion we require, so based on that, so it is there. So whatever the value you can able to convert. And with respect to the impedance scaling also, with both impedance and frequency scaling, we can able to get that. Okay, so this you can see here. So first, this is the curves where we can have the filter transform. Okay, so now normalized values are there earlier, so -1 to +1. Then we have taken from minus omega c to plus omega c. So this b is the frequency scaling of low pass response. Okay, so now we are converting that low pass response from normalized value to the what we can say, it is absolute value, that is cutoff frequency we will going to have. Then we are transforming that transformation from low pass to high pass. So when we transform the low pass to high pass, it will going to give this curve after transforming the elements both in frequency as well as the impedance. Okay, so this is how we are going to convert this. So low pass to high pass transformation. Similarly, you can convert that, so low pass to high pass transformation, and also low pass to band pass transformation, and also band stop. Okay, so now we can see, so how we can convert that low pass to band pass or band stop transformation. So before that, we'll just see one problem, how we can able to get that filter design, so any of that filter design. Okay, now you can see, so if I take the one problem, so the maximally flat filter design, maximally flat filter, so we need to do the low pass filter type. Okay, and then the cutoff frequency, so not actually the omega c, so they are just specifying it as cutoff frequency, that is fc in terms of hertz. So that's why we can take it as fc, which is equal to 2 gigahertz, the cutoff frequency. And then impedance, which is 50 ohm, so we can have the impedance 50 ohm, so that we can take it as r naught, which is equal to 50 ohm. Okay, so then, so the condition is at least 15 dB insertion loss. Okay, 15 dB insertion loss at 3 gigahertz. Okay, so we have the frequency, so response like this. Okay, the flatness, the maximally flat filter, we have the cutoff frequency 2 gigahertz here, and at 3 gigahertz we need to get that attenuation or insertion loss at least minimum 15 dB, that is minus 15 dB. Generally we say that 15 dB, this is at 3 gigahertz. This is what the requirement. Okay, so now we need to compute and plot the frequency response of the, so that is amplitude response of the filter. And also we have to find out the element values and circuit. Okay, so how we can actually we can able to find out the circuit. And to get this 15 dB insertion loss, we have to find out what is the order of the filter. Okay, so something like 5 6 watt we need to get the element values, that we need to find out what is the order of the filter. Okay. So whether it is 5, 6, 7, so how much filter order it will going to give this much value. Okay, what is my n? Okay, so that we need to find out. This is a design how we can able to get the problem. Now first step is to find out how much insertion loss is required. So we need 15 dB insertion loss, and we need to find out at what frequency this 15 dB insertion loss it will give. Okay, so at 3 gigahertz. So now that we can get from this graph. So this graph will be required, so in order to find out the filter. So you can see this is the equal ripple filter, and this one is a maximally flat. You can see the maximally flat filter prototype. It is varying from n equal to 1 to 10. Okay, so now if I want to get 15 dB insertion loss, you can see here. So some 15 dB insertion loss somewhere here it is there. Okay, so some, if you mark it exactly 15 dB here. Okay, so now that 15 dB, where that omega by omega c minus 1, which value will going to achieve 15 dB? You can see maximally you can get going to get for n equal to, so something like, so 5. Okay, so you can see the curve n equal to 5 curve. So at again so approximately 15 dB value, so we will going to get that value of this omega by omega c minus 1, which is 0.5 at n equal to 5 curve. Okay, so maybe, so we're going to get approximately more than 15 dB loss for n equal to 5. So this curve gives the description about this. So what is the value of n? So for n equal to 5, we're going to get this 15 dB insertion loss. Now for that, what is my omega minus omega by omega c minus 1, which is equal to 0.5, that we can see here. So this omega by omega c minus 1, which is equal to 0.5. Okay, so now we can able to find out what is the omega c from this. So whether it is giving exactly at 2 gigahertz, because we know already omega c 2 gigahertz, and we have to find out omega, so which is at 3 gigahertz, whether it will going to get that or not. Okay, so now if I equate this, so we will going to get omega minus omega c divided by omega c, which is equal to 0.5, or we can send it this side. So we'll give omega by omega c, which is equal to 1.5, and omega equal to 1.5 into omega c. So now my omega c is 2 gigahertz. Okay, so you will going to get omega, which is equal to 3 gigahertz. Okay, so now we are getting, so for this particular value we're going to get omega equal to 3 gigahertz, and this particular value will going to get the insertion loss of 15 dB. So for the filter order n equal to 5, that is very important. Now the from figure we got that n equal to 5. Okay, and 15 dB insertion loss. So now from the table we need to find out what are all the element values. So now you can see, uh, so this is a table for maximally flat filter prototype and element values. So I need to get the element values for now n equal to 5. Now you can see this is the values which are n equal to 5. Okay, up to from G1 to G6. So now G6 is a 1, it is always the load value which is equal to 50. 1 into 50 will going to get 50. Okay, now these filter prototype element values you need to find out. So these are the normalized values that you need to take it out. Okay, so if I take out that values, so we will going to get G1, which is equal to 0.618, and G2, which is equal to 1.618, and G3, which is equal to 2, G4, which is equal to 1.618, and G5, which is equal to 0.618, and G6, which is equal to 1. And this value it is always with respect to load, so that which will be nothing but R0, because if I multiply the scaling with R0, you will going to get that RL equal to R0, which is 50. So that will give, so the G6. Now all other element values in between. So we have the source. Okay, so like this, and we have the source impedance RS, which is equal to normalized value 1. Now if we take this configuration, first element I will going to get the capacitor, which is nothing but, so I need to take C1 dash, and second element which is nothing but L2 dash, and then third element we will going to get C3 dash, and fourth element again inductor L4 dash, and fifth element we will going to get so the C5 dash, and then we have the normalized the load resistance. This is what we will going to get it. Okay, so now this is the RL, so which is equal to normalized value 1. So now we need to get these transformations, so absolute value we know the only normalized value. Okay, so now if you take G1 which is nothing but C1, okay, so this is the nothing but C1 value because the first element is a capacitor, and this one is the L2, and this one is C3, and this one is L4, and this one is G5 is nothing but C5. So now we need to substitute those and we have to get the C1 dash. Okay, corresponding values. Now what are the C1 dash? So now we know the transformation here. So C1 dash for the low pass filter, the transformation. So you can see the new element values. So which is nothing but something like CK or C1. K value it is based on the value of the subscript. So now if you want C1 dash, C1 by R naught into omega. So this is what we require. So similarly, so we need to find out like that L value. So here C1 dash what you will going to get, C1 divided by so R naught into omega C. Okay, so now if I substitute the value of C1, that is 0.618 divided by R naught is 50 ohm into 2 pi into what is omega C, so the cutoff frequency which is given, that FC, which is equal to 2 gigahertz. Okay, so now if you put that 2 gigahertz, then you will going to get the what is exactly value of C1. So find out the value of C1. So how much you will going to get? Let me know. And similarly we have L2 dash. So L2 dash which is nothing but so R naught into L2 divided by 2 pi into the omega C, which is equal to 2 gigahertz. So similarly you can find out what is L2 dash. Anybody got any value? What is the value? Anybody have done? Please. Kaveshri. Shini.
So 9.83 into 10 power minus 13.
9.8 into
10 power minus 13.
okay, we can write it as 0.98 picofarad. Okay, and then what is the L2 value? Dash value. Gagan Kumar, Jaragoud.
$128.7
28 point.
128.7 Yes.
Check it once. R0 is 50. L2 is 1.618 is divided by 2 pi into So L2 dash is 50 into 1.618 divided by 2.22 gigahertz. Will it give 128 nanohenry?
So now, so 1.4 into 10 power 9 minus 9. Sorry, 6.43, sir. 6.43 into 10.
6.43 nanohenry.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, C3 dash and L4 dash find out, and C5 dash. What is C3 dash? 2. So 2 into here 2 divided by 50 into 2 by 2 gigahertz. By into 2 gigahertz. So instead of 0.618, you have to replace 2. One over 100 pi into nano. 100 pi is what? Okay, so 1 over pi into 10 power minus 11. Okay, is it 3.1 picofarad?
3.18 picofarads.
Now you can observe, so the element value G2 which is equal to G4. That means whatever L2 will going to get, the same value will going to get for the L4. Okay, and similarly whatever C1 we are getting, the same value will going to get for C5, that is 0.98 picofarad. Okay, so this is what the filter design. So now we have got all the values of the filter design, and we can rewrite the circuit as, so Rs which is equal to 50 ohm, because when we normalize value, if we convert it to absolute value, we will going to get the 50 ohm. And similarly we will be having L2 dash which is equal to 6.34 nanohenry. Similarly we have the C3 dash which is equal to 3.18 picofarad. Similarly we have L4 dash which is equal to 6.34 nanohenry. And then we have, so this is C5 dash is equal to 0.98 picofarad, and we have finally the load which is equal to T. And the response, filter response, how we can write? So we're going to write like this, and then the cutoff frequency is 2 gigahertz. Okay, and then so we have the maximum, the value which is equal to 0 dB, and at exactly 3 gigahertz you have to show the 15 dB insertion loss. This is how we're going to show the, this is not exactly omega, because if you specify the frequency it will be in terms of f. So this is what the filter response, we are going to get the maximally flat low pass filter response. Okay, so now similarly, so this is actually one design where we design the, so maximally flat filtered prototype. Now we can similar way, you can able to do it for some that equal ripple filter. You can see for what values of n you will going to get some 15 dB here. So maybe n equal to 8 or n equal to 7, you will going to get 15 dB exactly here. So similar kind you can take this omega by omega c for a particular value of the filter order and insertion loss, and you can take this value and you can able to design the equal ripple filter the same kind. How we can able to design this similar kind, you can able to find out the equal ripple filter prototype, so and also the element values. Okay, so there we're going to specify the ripple value, so something like 3 dB ripple and 0.5 dB ripple in the past. That values comparison you have to take, so which one it is specified, whether it is 0.5 dB or 0.3 dB ripple value, correspondingly you have to take the element values. Okay, so like that you have to design if it is instead of maximally flat, if it is a equal ripple given. Okay, so now that is from the low pass filter design. Now if you see low pass to band pass transformation, so if I directly ask the band pass, design a band pass filter with this edge frequencies, lower edge and higher edge, so you need to first design the low pass filter, then you can transform some that low pass filter to band pass transformation, or we can say band stop transformation. Both the transformation can be done. So now you can see the how actually the transformation happens. So this is actually the equation where we have transformed that uh, low pass prototype to band pass transformation. Okay, so this is equation you have to replace, and delta you know that omega 2 minus omega 1 by omega naught, and that omega naught which is nothing but a square root of omega 1 into omega. That is a center frequency. So within the pass band we will going to get the center frequency omega naught based on the omega 1 and omega 2. Okay, so these are the edge frequencies omega 1 and omega 2. So then from that you can find out the center frequency. So this transformation you need to apply, where the omega is there you have to replace this, and you have to find out the transformation. And you can see this is a actual how the band pass transformation happens. This is a low pass prototype normalized value, then we are converting that, so the normalized value to center frequency both left and right side, the lower edge and higher edge, or lower uh, band pass edge and the higher band pass edge. So once we convert that, so then we can have the band stop also. So this is a band pass transformation, this is a band stop transformation. Okay, so now this is a low pass response. Let's say when we have omega equal to omega naught, so we'll be having this term will become equal to 0. Okay, and whenever we have that the lower edge or the low frequency edge is -1, so in the low pass filter, and higher side it is +1, so this -1 and +1 itself will going to convert it here to band pass edge. Okay, so this is what the conversion which we need to do for the -1 and +1. When omega equal to omega 1 you have to use this transformation, when omega equal to omega 2 you have to use this transformation. And new filter elements, so as like earlier we have to find out the susceptance based on the inductance value or capacitance value, so the reactance and susceptance. Okay, so if I have the reactance, so that is series element, the inductor, so we need to take this transformation and put it the corresponding values of the cutoff frequency and then the edge frequencies and delta you have to find out, and finally you put the values, you will going to get the transformation. Okay, so this is a reactance how we can find out. So now we can see this is a actual series inductor which is transformed into the parallel the series LC circuit. So simple the series inductor from the low pass type will be having like two elements, right? So if we have the low pass something like that, we'll be having some two elements, right? So LC circuit. So now this series L, so we can convert that into series LC like this. Okay, and then this shunt capacitor, so similarly, so this is what the first one, we are converting that series inductor to a series LC circuit. Now that series LC circuit will be having again new values of L and C. Okay, so now this L to C transformation we have already known. Okay, so that earlier whenever we discussed there, So that how to transform from L to C and C to L. So this transformation you need to take. Okay, so by taking that transformation, so we can able to convert that series inductor to a series LC circuit, and that L to C and C to L we can able to get. So and that is the final equation. And now converting that absolute value, so to the converting that normalized values to absolute value, you have to again impedance scale. So here without impedance scaling, only the frequency scaling we have done. Okay, so this is a transformation if it is series inductor to the series LC circuit. Similarly, we have the shunt inductor. You can see the low pass filtered prototype. We have the shunt capacitor. Okay, so this is series inductor. We have converted it to series LC circuit. Okay, and then we have convert this shunt capacitor to a parallel so LC circuit. So that equation we have to solve. Okay, so now that we can again convert here the susceptance value. So this is actually the series inductor. Similarly, we have the shunt capacitor. So that shunt capacitor shunt susceptance we have to convert it to again. So the shunt LC circuit or parallel LC circuit. That if you convert, you will going to get like this. So parallel LC circuit, something like this. So this converts that. So whatever the low pass type to a band pass type. Okay. So that conversion, the frequency that shunt capacitance to a shunt LC circuit transformation can be done from using this equation. And the element values, so if you want to scale the impedance, you have to find out. So instead of Ck, you have to put it as Ck by R0, and if you want to find out Lk, so you have to put Lk by so R0 into Lk. Okay, so that is a transformation we need to do. So similarly for the band stop transformation, it is a inverse. So you have to take the, so whatever we have taken here, so 1 by delta into this one, you have to take the inverse of that. Then only you will going to get the band stop transformation. And then so we can convert again series inductor and shunt capacitors of low pass prototype to a parallel and series LC circuits. So this is a conversion, series L to parallel LC, and then this one shunt C to series LC circuit. If I convert like that, so earlier we have done series L to series LC circuit and shunt C to parallel LC circuit, but in the band stop it is a reverse case. So that conversion we need to, then we'll going to get the band stop transformation. You can see how the summary of the the transformation. If it is an inductor, so if it converts to high pass from low pass to high pass, this inductor will become capacitor, and the corresponding value of the capacitor is nothing but 1 over omega c into L. So based on the value of L, we will going to get the capacitor value. If it is the, so if it is in the low pass case, the capacitor is there, then we can convert it to inductor. For the high pass case, the inductor value will be 1 over omega c into C. That is the low pass to high pass conversion. And similarly, we have low pass to band pass conversion. So we have discussed here, so that is series L to the series LC circuit. So that conversion it is here, how the inductor series inductor the series inductor can be converted into series LC circuit, and the corresponding values are here. And similarly, so the series L into parallel LC circuit in the band stop transformation, and these are the values. And similarly, how the capacitor will convert into, the series capacitor will convert into parallel LC circuit, and in the band stop case it is series LC circuit. So this is the summary of the filter transformation what we have done from low pass to other transformation. Okay, so now you can see another one example to find out the band pass transformation. That is, so one design we're going to see how the band pass filter can be designed from the low pass prototype. So now we can see, so one design a band pass filter which is having, okay, we can take this example, design a band pass filter having 0.5 dB ripple. Okay, so 0.5 dB equal ripple response. Okay, with, so the order which is equal to n equal to 3, so n is given and the FC center frequency is given, which is 1 gigahertz. Okay, and the bandwidth is so 10%, and the impedance is 50 ohm. So this is the band pass filter specification we need to design. So you can see we're going to get the band pass filter like this. But in the pass band, so you see the 0.5 dB ripple should be there. Something like this 0.5 dB we have to have the ripple. Okay. And then impedance is 50 ohm. This bandwidth, whatever the F1 and F2. Okay. So the bandwidth percentage, that is F2 minus F1 divided by FC. So this should be equal to 10%. Okay. So that is what the bandwidth they are specified, and the order of the filter n equal to 3. Now that is what the band pass requirement is there. So now first we need to find out the low pass prototypes. Okay, so for first we need to find out 0.5 dB equal ripple low pass filter prototype elements. Okay, so first we need to find out the low pass filter prototype for n equal to 3. So then we need to convert that low pass prototype to a band pass. So with the impedance scale. Okay. So now that we need to do, first we have to find out the n equal to 3 filter values. Now we can see here the 0.5 dB ripple. So this is a 0.5 dB ripple filter prototype, and the low pass filter having n equal to 3 these values. So we have 1.5963, 1.0967, and 1.5963, and this load value it is normalized, always it is equal to 1. Now this is there. So these filter values we have to take. Okay. So now if I take that filter values, so my G1 which is equal to 1.5963, G2 equal to 1.067, sorry 0967, and then G3 it is same as G1 which is 1.5963, and then we have G4 which is equal to 1. Okay. So now if I consider that the low pass configuration, we have the first the L1. So let us take this the band pass filter which is L1 capacitor, and then L like this RL, and we have the source here. Now if I take like this, so my first value which is nothing but L1, and this is C2, and this is L3. So we have already find out these values, that is, so this is the transformed values, but we need to find out these values, and here this is L1, and this is C2, and this is L3. Okay. So now first we need to convert this series inductor to a the series LC circuit, and this parallel capacitor to a parallel LC circuit. In order to get the low pass to band pass transformation, first we need to convert this series inductor to series LC, and then parallel shunt C or parallel C to again shunt circuit, shunt LC circuit, and then finally again series inductor to the same series LC circuit. Once we convert that, we're going to end up with the band pass transformation. So now for that we have already seen here, so the actual transformation you can see here. So if you have a series inductor for the band pass transformation, these are the values. Okay. So now if I do the impedance scaling as well as this one, so we will going to end up with my L1 dash, which is nothing but L1 divided by omega naught into delta. So this is what the transformation from series inductor to a series LC circuit, where L1 dash which is having so two values. So instead here, so in the band pass transformation we'll be having two values, that is L1 dash and C1 dash. So series LC circuit we are converting from the series L. So that's why we need to find out L1 dash and C1 dash. So now that L1 dash and C1 dash will be equal to this one, and if I scale with respect to impedance, we will going to add, so L1 by L1 into R naught. And similarly C, so which is equal to delta by, so omega naught into C. And this C, if I do the impedance scaling, C by R naught, which is actually given by, so if you send it to the numerator, we will going to get delta into R naught by omega naught into C. So this is the transformation of series inductor to a series LC circuit. Now if I substitute the value of L1 in terms of that normalized value, so we will going to get 1.5963 into 50 divided by, so omega naught is nothing but 2 pi into, so the cutoff frequency is that center frequency is given FC. Here the omega naught is nothing but the center frequency or F naught. So 2 pi into 1 gigahertz, and delta we need to find out what is the value of delta. So now what is the delta value here? Delta is nothing but the W2 minus W1 by omega naught. That is nothing but the bandwidth. So that bandwidth we have already known. So which is nothing but F2 minus F1 by Fc. Or in terms of the radians, we will be having omega 2 minus omega 1 by omega naught, which is given it as 0.1 or 10%. That we know already. So 10% is given. So now the same thing you are substituting here. 10% are nothing but 0.1. So now by putting all these values, we can able to find out what is L1 dash. Try to find out what is L1 dash, and similarly C1 dash. Try to do it. Find out the value. What is the L1 dash value? Vilash, Kash, Chandana, Geeta.
Present, sir.
Not asking the attendance, asking the values. Preeti, 27 nanofarad. So the L1 dash is 127 nanofarad. Sorry, nanohenry. So C1 dash you can find out. What is the value of C1 dash? Anybody get it? Gauri, Kaveshri, Chaitra, Ages, Jaragod, got it? C dash, C1 dash,
362 picofarad.
362. Check it once. So is it correct? 1.1 into T divided by gigahertz into the value of the C, which is nothing but the same value of L. So you have to take L here, not the C value. Okay, we are not calculating for C2, we are calculating for L1. So to take the same value of G1 for the C, for the calculation of C also. This is nothing but C, which is originally coming from the L. Okay, so you have to put that same 1.5963 here. Okay, that is very important. So the new value of C1 dash, you can find out 0.1 into 50 by 2 pi into 1 gigahertz into 1.5963. How much now?
Sir, 4.9 into 10 power minus 10.
So here, so for these values you can calculate properly. So this is nothing but L itself, because we are transforming this L to LC circuit. Okay, so that you have to substitute 1.5963. 498 pico. Okay, just check it. So similar, like we have to transform this, so series inductor to series LC circuit. Similarly, we have to transform this C2 dash to the parallel LC, so that whatever G2 value is there, okay, so that is 1.0967. We have to convert this C2 into the parallel LC circuit. Okay, so now how to convert that? So we need the L2 dash, which is nothing but del into R naught divided by E omega naught into C. So whatever the C value which is there here, okay, or C2. So similarly, we have C2 dash, which is equal to C by del into R naught into omega so naught. So this is what the, so for the C2 case. Okay. Then finally find out the, so we already find out that again the inductor, series inductor into the series LC. Okay, so that earlier whatever we have find out, the same thing we have to find out for this case. And these values you have to find out what is the value of this. Okay, so now finally we're going to arrive this the filter design as like this. The RS, which is equal to 50 ohm. Okay, so then we have the series LC that we have find out something 127, and then C value you have to find out. And similarly we have here L and C, the tank, the parallel circuit. So that is nothing but L2 dash and C2 dash. And again we have here inductor and capacitor and with the load. This one we have find out already 127 nanometer and find out the capacitor value. And this will be 50 ohm. So this is a final band pass filter circuit for n equal to 3. Okay, so this one you have to finally put the circuit. Okay, so this is what the band pass transformation, that values you need to find out so yourself. And we can write the response as like this. We have the band pass filter response, we have the 0.5 dB ripple here. Okay, This is 0 dB and this ripple is 0.5 dB and the center frequency is 1 gigahertz, and we have some, so 3 dB down we have the bandwidth, so that is 10% we need to get out of this 1 gigahertz of 10%. So 10% means it is 0.1, so 0.1 of 1 gigahertz means 100 megahertz or 0.1 gigahertz. So 0.1 gigahertz means we will going to get 0.9 lower rates and 1.1 gigahertz higher rates. That's how the response will going to write it. Okay, so this is the response and this is the final filter circuit. Putting the values, if you that will be complete the design. Okay, so now that is the one of the band pass filter design transformation. Okay, we'll stop here and we'll do the filter implementation. That is, now till now we have done the